This is draft busting for front doors, or back doors, external doors anyway. It's using this stuff called Q-Lon again, which is the same stuff that David demonstrated in the draft busting for windows video. I've already partly done this door. Now the only thing which is annoying is that these strips aren't quite long enough for the door. You see the one on the other side? I started fitting it from the bottom, which is what's normally recommended. The result is I've got an annoying gap there, which I haven't filled in yet, but I can do. I've already done the top, but now I'm going to do the left-hand side. So it's the same principle as the windows. These strips are pre-drilled, and you use these stainless steel pins. It makes it easier if you push the pins in the holes first. So that strip has now got pins in all the way down. And then you need to use one of these type of hammers, which is called a pin hammer, which has this slightly smaller head. I had this one already, but it's rather heavy, so I bought this one for about £3.99, which is a lighter hammer, which is absolutely ideal for this. So the way you position it is, well actually Lorraine made a suggestion, which is it might look neater, and I think she's right, if I started at the top and I have the small extra piece at the bottom. So I'm going to do it like that. So I'm making it butt up against the strip which I already did at the top, so I'm pushing it up there. But also, once it's touching the door, you need to push it about 1 millimetre further so that it makes a sort of seal against the door. So I'm doing that there. I'll just bang that in a little bit. Actually, it's quite tricky to do this with the door shut. So what I'll do is, once they're in a little bit, I'm going to open the door, because that's now held in place. And then with the door open, you can actually get a much better swing of the hammer and bang them all the way in. Except that you can't do the whole thing with the door open, because the door may not be completely straight. So you do need to shut the door every now and then and just check. You see here the strips come away from the door. Check that the strip is pushed up to the door enough, and just, actually that's easy, and so on until all the pins are in. And then I need to fill this gap in. You use these type of, they're called anvil secateurs, because this pair's rather ancient actually, but they don't cut, they're not cross-cut, they cuts down against that. And this is the stuff. I've got some more strips here. So what I'll do, when that's all pinned on, I will measure a piece for the bottom, and it's got a hole in, so that'll be fine. I'll cut it with the secateurs and just fill in the gap. And then the result of this is that, well, once that gap's filled as well, is that this strip which is pushing up against the door is completely stopping drafts from coming through the door. And in fact I can already notice an amazing difference inside just from this strip. So it's very easy to do. To do the whole door, including the cutting, if you haven't done it before, it probably might take an hour, maybe longer, because you talk to people who are going by in the street. And the strips cost, I think they're £4 each, and you're going to need 2.5 strips to do a whole door, or 5 strips and share with a friend. This is the warmest room in my house, and the reason is that I've used this wonderful product, StopGap, to stop up the drafts in one of the windows. This product is actually only recommended for drafty floorboards, and it comes in clear or brown. But somebody at a recent workshop suggested that it could work just as well with sash windows, and it really does. It's a bit like using folded newspaper to fill up the gaps in your sash windows, but it's easier. All you need to fit it is a pair of scissors to cut it, and if the gap's big, something like an old credit card or membership card to push it into the gap. So now I'll show you how I fitted it to the window. This window we never open this window, it doesn't work very well anyway, so it's fine to put this stuff in. Of course, if you did open the window, all these bits would fall out, so you could just put them in for the winter and then let them fall out in the spring. So there's a gap here, I can feel a draft coming through this gap. So I've actually already cut a piece here, and I've already found out that there isn't really a gap at the top, so I'm not trying to put it all the way up. So I'm going to squeeze it behind the window lock and push it down and use my old membership card and poke it in with that. You can fiddle around and get it looking quite neat in the end, but that's fairly good for now. It might go a bit, actually go a bit lower down, and actually because it's stiffer than newspaper it is a bit easier. Oh, that's it. Oh, I don't know where it's gone now, it's disappeared right down into the window. Okay, something about like that. I mean, obviously you don't really see that, but I could cut that off. That's quite good. And you can do the same along here as well. You can just push it down, work out how long it needs to be, cut it off and poke it down in this gap here. So on this window I've now done this side, the top, this side, along here, and actually there isn't really a gap here. There's a slight gap here. The other advantage is that you're doing it all from the inside. So you can do the whole window without having to put up scaffolding or go for ladder or anything scary like that. We just on our way to do some more draft busting, and we've just spotted this really interesting bit of DIY draft proofing with a pair of old jeans, assuming they're old jeans, laid along the flooring of the sash windows.